Well, hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Speakeasy Cafe. I am Janelle Anderson, your host, and I am known as the Virtual Events Visionary. I help coaches to build thriving six-figure coaching businesses or more through hosting their own virtual events. It's one of the best ways that I know of to attract your ideal clients, to connect with them, to get to know them get to know you. And then from there, you can leverage those virtual events into a thriving six-figure coaching business. And in particular, I teach coaches how to create what I call the client enrollment workshop, which is a specific type of workshop you can run monthly to become just to generate. It's like the engine of your business. It just generates that continuous, consistent client and cash flow. And then from there, it's like the front door to your business. And from there, we build the house behind it to make sure you have everything in place. That's what I do with my clients. But in this uh, event, it's called the Speakeasy Cafe, and it's all about coaches who speak. uh, Getting out there and speaking is one of the best ways. In an event, you're creating your own stage and speaking, but you also need to be out there speaking on other stages to attract your audience and to get to be known, known in the world, in our industry, for what you do. So usually I share a tip or two about speaking, about running events. Today, we're talking about creating lasting success in your business. And it's interesting statistic that the ICF, I've seen on ICF that 80% of coaches don't make it past year 3. And one of the reasons is that they don't have that long lasting success knowledge, I guess. How do you make this thing last? Because they are kind of in that loop of chasing after one client at a time and just where is my next client, and not really knowing how to create a financial engine and a structure to their business so that it continually brings in clients without them having to go out and chase them. It attracts them to you. So one of the things I learned early on from my very first coach was this idea that anybody in this industry, even people that have been in it for a long time, are very successful, discover that it's sort of like a roller coaster ride. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes things are going great. All of us hit those lows, and we just have to keep going. And that is what I want to talk about today. So just raise your hand if you've ever felt like giving up on your business. Like, oh, this is just too hard. It's too overwhelming. I don't think I can do this. It's not worth it. I've been doing this and I've been doing that and I've been trying all these different things and nothing's working, and I should just give up because maybe it's just not for me. Anybody ever feel that way? Most Mike's like, yeah. Most coaches that I talk to are like, yes, that's like number one. It's this feeling of I can't make this work. I don't know how to make this work, and it's just too hard, and maybe I'm not cut out for it. Well, definitely I've been there. And today I want to talk about 3 secrets that I've discovered over the years. I've been in business 11 years in October. And these are the 3 things. I was thinking about this yesterday because yesterday was my 35th wedding anniversary. So yeah, my husband and I have been married 35 years. That's 3.5 decades. It seems impossible, but I was thinking about that. Like, we have been through so much in 35 years. We've been through near bankruptcy, where we had a business, a brick and mortar business. Long story, but so many things went wrong with that, and we almost had to go bankrupt because our partner left us holding the bag, basically. We have been through many financial ups and downs over the years, right? We've been through lots of health crises. My husband had to have bypass surgery at one time, and there's been many other things. Losing family members. Both of us have lost both of our parents, and he's lost all of his siblings. And I've lost 3 of mine, and just, the hard knocks of life, right? Disagreements, disappointments, disillusionment so many times, like, what are we doing? I don't want to be married anymore. And yet we stay together. Why? What makes it? My parents were married 62 years, and I would often ask them what their secret was, and these are the 3 things The 3 things I'm gonna share with you today are also the same 3 things that will keep you in going in your business. Business is like a marriage in a way. You can run out of that feeling, in a marriage, you run out of, or not run out of, but that romantic feeling and the butterflies, all those things, that goes pretty quickly and it comes and goes. But you're not always having those great feelings even in your business of excitement and, um, passion and, visions and, like all the cool things that when you started your business you felt. It's not always there. Sometimes you feel like a failure. Sometimes you feel disappointed and frustrated and exhausted. And what keeps us going on this roller coaster ride? How do we make this thing last? So there's 3 things: commitment, consistency, and resilience. And when I was thinking about my marriage, I was like, that's what it is. Commitment. No matter what we've been through, and we've been through some rough times that I look around and I see every day. In fact, yesterday I saw a post from somebody with a new fiance, and I thought, well, what happened to your marriage? What happened to the other girl? And I see this often, like new announcements of people getting married, and I didn't even know that they were divorced from their spouse that I knew from before, and it just happens all the time. And it makes me wonder, like, what is it that makes people just give up? Because we've been through a lot. My husband and I have been through things that definitely could have caused us to break, divorce. And yet here we are, 35 years. And it's because of that commitment. For me, I made a commitment. I made a vow, and it was till death do us part. And quitting's just not an option. It's not something that we consider. We we figure out ways to get through these difficult times, and our faith is very strong, so God gets us through so many of these things. But we are committed to each other, and love is not just that butterfly feeling. We all know that love is something you decide. It's a choice you make. And the same thing is true with your business. If you're not completely committed to your business and in a sense make a vow, to your business, that I'm going to stick with you till the end. I'm going to stick with you no matter what happens. I'm going to keep on working at this. I'm going to keep on figuring it out. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. And in my view, the only way that you fail is by quitting. That's the only failure in business, is quitting. And in a marriage, right? So, and I know there are a lot of legitimate reasons that why marriages break up. I'm not saying that, because I actually am divorced from my first husband because of an abusive situation. But in just the normal, everyday marriage, like, I think sometimes we give up too early. And I remember watching my parents go through a lot of tough times. My dad even cheated on my mom, and they worked through it. It was horrible, but she forgave him. He changed his way. I mean, it was only this one time, but Uh, after my dad passed away, I found letters, love letters that they had written each other during that time, and it was just like, "Oh my gosh." But they made it through that, and their marriage was even stronger. So it's the same with your business. You could hit such a bad low in your business and feel like there was a time in my business where I hadn't had any new clients, nothing new was happening, my list wasn't growing, I wasn't getting anywhere, and it went on for a year or two, like very much at that level of just, not moving at all. It was just stagnant and barely hanging on. And that would have been a good time to, like a lot of people would have said, well, forget this. I'm not making any money. But I didn't do that. Instead, I had the idea, like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to stick with this business and find out what I need to do and how I need to fix it so it'll work, because I know why I'm doing this. It's that why. I'm doing this because it's my calling. It's a passion. I'm called to change lives. And there's just no other option at this point. So that's number one. The second one is consistency. So in my marriage, we show up consistently the same every day after day after day. We don't fake things. We don't act like we're somebody else. We always show up with each other the same way. And that creates such a level of trust, because I know how he's going to react. I know who he is. I know how he's going to show up every day, and he knows the same for me. There's not like all these surprises like, "Oh, I didn't know that about you." I didn't know you were gonna do that. It's such a solid foundation, and of course that develops over years, but it's the same thing with your business. The more consistently you show up for yourself, for your business, for your clients, and you create that level of trust with people that are following you, your clients, the people that promote you, your peers. You create and establish deep trust when you show up consistently and authentically as you everywhere you go and wherever you are, whatever stage you're speaking on, whatever video you might be producing or copy or whatever you're doing, networking group that you go to, everywhere you show up, you are always you and you are always authentic, and people trust you and they get to know you. And when you show up consistently on social media or in your emails to your list or as you're speaking and networking, and you're showing up consistently and you're always there, you're showing up, people see you, they hear you, they begin to notice you, then you will start to develop that following. I've heard a lot of coaches say, well, I posted on social media. I posted on Facebook a couple times, but nothing happened. And I'm like, well, it takes time. It takes time and consistency. You have to continually be out there. You cannot not be out there. Your people are looking for you, and you've got to figure out ways to help them find you consistently, being on the highways and byways out there so they can find you. Just like when you're driving down the road and you're on a road trip and you want a cup of coffee, you're looking for the sign for a coffee shop and you see it and you're like, that's what I need. I'm going there. That's what we need to do. We need to show up consistently with that sign in the road saying, here I am, here I am, here I am. And that takes consistently, putting yourself out there in whether, you're running a workshop or you're speaking or whatever it is you're doing, you're emailing, you're posting, you're doing videos. It's a consistent and often way of showing up so that people know that you're out there. And then the third one was resilience. So resilience is bouncing back after setbacks, getting up and doing it again. And how many times throughout our marriage have we gone through really tough times, but we always come out on the other side stronger, more resilient. And resilience is so built into the fabric of our marriage. No matter what happens, we've been through the worst of it. We're going to still come out on the other side together and stronger. So same thing with your business. There will be tough times. Things will go wrong. There will be lows and there will be highs. And there will be times you feel like a total failure. Maybe you run a workshop and nobody came or nobody bought your offer, or you had a discovery call and the person said no, or you put a video out there and you only had a couple likes or comments. That's nothing. I mean, I know people in business who have lost millions and lost their whole entire business and had to start all over again. And they did, and now they're successful. So it's that resilience and that faith in yourself, and hopefully you have faith in God or a higher being, and a determination to just keep going, because this is what you're called to do. And those people that are looking to work with you, that want to work with you, they are looking for you. And when you are resilient and you continue to show up and you continue to get back up again, say, you know what? Failure is just feedback. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to get some help. Don't do this alone. We need to help. We need help. We need our mentors and our coaches and our masterminds where we can hear from other people and understand and learn the things we need to learn so that we can fix whatever's wrong and just keep going. Like, there's no question in my mind that I'm going to keep going with this business. There's never been a question. And I've seen some of my peers that I went through coach training with that have fallen, within a couple of years, they stopped and they went back to work. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. My business is a long-term commitment. It's a lifelong commitment. I'm going to be doing this until I can't do it anymore. This is not a quick fling. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, right? And that you have to have. You have to have that commitment. You have that consistency to show up and build that trust with your audience and resilience. Expect challenges, expect setbacks. Things will go wrong. I tell this to people all the time that are learning how to run an event. Guess what? If you're worried about tech failing you during an event, don't be, because it's going to happen. So just know that. It will happen and it's okay. It's really okay. As long as you're showing up authentically and every event I've ever run, something goes wrong and I'll just say to the audience, "Well, that went wrong, but we're going to fix it. Let's just keep going." And they appreciate that. They like it. People love authenticity. They like it when you're real because then they can relate to you. If they see a polished speaker in an event that runs without a hitch, then they're thinking, "I can't do that. I could never do that." But if they see mistakes happening and the host just keeps going and is real with them, then they're like, "You know what? I could do that. I could be real like that." And so, just know that things will go wrong. You're going to have setbacks, but it's okay. It makes us stronger. We learn from them and we come out on the other side better. So, I want to give you a little action step this week to write down what your ultimate vision of success is for your business. If you could think out 5, 10 years from now, even long term, think long term. What would that look like? And keep it very vivid and real. Really envision it. Where will you be? How much money will you be making? How many clients will you have? What's your program going to look like? Uh, are you speaking on big stages? Like really write down exactly what that looks like. Are you traveling? What are you doing in life? Your personal life. Are you enjoying life? Are you living in that beach house you always wanted, or traveling the world, or spending time with the grandkids? Whatever it is, write that down and also include your why. The the lives that you are changing through your business. Write down if you don't have any client success stories, make some up that you would like to see happen in people's lives and write the details about it, because you can always go back to this vision and say, "This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm sticking it out. This is why I'm going to keep on going no matter what, because of this, because of this." So that it will become your guiding light and your compass and your strength to keep on going, because all of us that are in this industry, we all struggle with the same things. Even people that are making millions of dollars as a coach, and there are a lot of them out there, they still have struggles. They still have ups and downs. They might have big teams and big programs, but I guarantee you things go wrong. And there are times where they feel like, "I can't do this anymore." Something goes wrong with a team member, or their tech messes up, or, somebody sues them for something. I mean, all kinds of things can go wrong, but they keep going and they're committed to their vision. They're committed to their clients. They're committed to the calling on their lives as a coach. So write that vision down and those three things: commitment, consistency, and resilience. And just remind yourself when things go wrong that, hey, that's okay. It's normal. I'm normal. I must be doing something right if something's going wrong. And I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to be committed to my business. I'm going to show up consistently, and I'm going to be resilient through setbacks and come out stronger and better. And I can't tell you how many times how many things that I have learned and improved on because it was like a failure or I felt like I blew it. Speaking, for example, how many times have I given a talk and it was just terrible? Or I thought it was terrible and I went back and improved it and worked on it. Or I've run a workshop and either nobody came or people came and nobody bought. And I went back and I worked on it and I tweaked it and looked at all the pieces of it. Where could I improve it? Was it how I made my offer? Was it in my promotion? Like, what do I need to work on to make it better? What are people looking for? And how can I deliver that? So there's always ways to make things better, and that's being resilient. So hopefully this is helpful for you. If you are interested in learning how to turn a monthly workshop into a thriving six-figure business, I want to invite you to my 3-day event in November. It's called Virtual Events Bootcamp. In 3 days, you're going to learn how to put together a monthly workshop. I call it a client enrollment workshop, and how you can translate that into a steady cash and client flow. And also we're going to talk about the blueprint for your whole business and how to take that event and how that fits into the structure of a thriving coaching business. And you'll walk away with a clear roadmap of how to get yourself there. And just because you're here in the Speakeasy Cafe or maybe watching this video, I'm offering a general admission ticket for only $1. It's normally 97 at its highest. The early bird right now is 47. So people who go to my regular site pay 47 to attend the 3-day event. But I'm offering to you a $1 ticket today, and I'm going to drop that link here in the chat, and it will be below this video on YouTube if that's where you're watching it. And also leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this topic, what you're doing in your business to stay relevant, to be committed and consistent and resilient in your business. And I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and tell people about it. So thanks for watching. I am now going to open things up to those that are in the room with me and see who's got a question or a comment. My question to you is like, what are you doing? What are some of the strategies or tips that you can share today that might help others with being committed, consistent, and resilient in your business? Anybody want to share?
This is the audience participation part.
Yes. Yes, it is. Participate.
Yeah, I feel like I actually have pretty good discipline. This is my second time around on a business. I was in a partnership before, and I was doing all the operations stuff and not getting to do the actual coaching consulting that I wanted to do. I was sort of supporting their dream. So I kind of feel like I've got the bones down. Which is not to say that I don't have down days, but I have a theater background. So 20 years of doing auditions and getting rejected for no apparent reason kind of, I don't know, built up that muscle, that resilience muscle of, a no is not defeat, it's just a different door.
Yeah, I love that. No is not defeat. It's just a different door. That's a writer downer right there.
Yep.
I love it. Awesome. So what do you do, Catherine?
I'm a speaker and a voiceover artist and a consultant in the change management space. So
Oh,
my big why, my umbrella is to create workplaces where everyone thrives. I'm all about that mid-manager leadership, trying to create the best environment for their teams that they possibly can. And everything I do, if that's my umbrella, everything I do are the little drops dripping off of the tips of each of the umbrellas. So
oh,
my
wow.
speaking supports it, my consulting supports it, my voiceover work supports it. I do a lot of uh, company manuals, that sort of thing.
Oh,
And yeah, and my training supports it. I'm all about time management, delegation, stuff like
yeah,
that.
for sure. Absolutely. We were talking about that last time, time management. Great. Well, thanks for that. Anybody else have anything to share? Mike?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wouldn't say so much give up on the business. I do speech coaching, and I've kind of tap danced around the edge of the waters if I'll work with anybody. And it helps when I'm in front of anybody, but there's still that vision for the fitness industry. And I still believe that that's where I can go deeper and go bigger. It's a lot of people are very stubborn. I always have a reason why to get away from that industry and just kind of dance around the edge and work with people who are, I'm fine working with tech and finance people, but there's a lot more I can do in this fitness industry, go bigger
Yeah.
with different companies. And I turn away sometimes like, all right, I've had enough with these people. So
Yeah.
it's not so much leaving the business, it's leaving the growth opportunity in the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good point too. I think sometimes coaches, they don't know that they're sabotaging themselves, but they purposely kind of keep themselves small out of either, I don't want to work with all those people, or the fear of success. How am I going to manage a super successful business? And I'll just keep it comfortable with just a few clients, but it's really hard to sustain yourself that way. So
Tell them
sometimes
about it.
it's, yeah, not giving up on the total business, but maybe giving up on on the growth, you know? I definitely have been there too. Janet, what do you want to share?
Well, just to share a little bit, I guess I can say I am new as far as professional coaching, but I've been doing this all my life,
Mhm.
working with people all my life, and I am, working in the area of um, building relationships and strengthening relationships, and I have done this as far as ministry is concerned. So everything I've done basically has been for free. But
Mhm.
now getting a little bit more in depth in terms of working with individuals or couples, families, just to help them to come together and have a more positive experience as far as getting along and how to overcome some of the problems that they run into, because of a lack of communication, things like that. So,
Yeah.
like I say, the professional coaching side is new, and I'm excited about, where I want to go with this and where I think it'll go. From everybody I've talked to or people that I've networked with, um, I've got a lot of positive feedback and gotten some suggestions, things of that nature. So, um, right now, like I say, I'm just at the excited part.
Well, good. Hopefully you can stay there. Even when things go wrong, you can still be excited because you have that vision of what you want to accomplish and who you want to help. So I know that's something I've experienced before is like things would go wrong, but I can still feel that excitement that it's okay. I'm going to make this work. And then when things do go well, it's super exciting. So great ideas and great tips. Thank you guys for sharing those. I really appreciate y'all being here. And we're going to open it up now to if there's anything you want to share about what you're doing in the world, and how we can support each other. That would be great. If you have anything coming up, I've got my event coming up. What do you have coming up that you would like to share? Or how can we help you and support you?
Well, my next storytelling for solopreneurs is the end of October. The last one was just this past Thursday. I should have been here last
Mhm.
week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put
Yeah,
the
Mike does a regular monthly event. It's perfect. Yeah, put the link in the chat there.
Gonna pull that up to just close it.
That's the same day as my next workshop, the 29th. Yeah, 29th. I also have a monthly workshop.
30. Oh, actually, no. The 20. Oh, no, the 23rd is mine.
Oh, okay. Let me put in here, I'm going to edit where I put well, let's see. Underneath my link, the dates of my event are November 19 to 21. Put in the date there too, so we know. Okay, how come that's not? That's weird. You still see the link to my event because it's not.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
good.
awesome. Already signed up. Wonderful. And there's Mike's. Okay, awesome, awesome. Janet or Catherine, do you have anything coming up? Catherine, get your strengths off the bookshelf, October 15th. Use any assessment or my assessment.
Any
Any.
assessment.
And learn how to
Yeah, bring your
communicate.
disc, bring your Clifton Strengths, bring your Myers-Briggs, and
Awesome.
learn how to use those results to communicate better at work, advocate for what you do best, and set boundaries that stick. Which,
Love it.
as solopreneurs, probably not super helpful because you're not working in a company
Yeah.
situation. But I'm sure you have friends who are.
Yes, I run across people all the time. I have a couple of clients who are still in the workspace trying to also start their business. Janet, what do you got going on?
I don't have anything set yet, but in the next day or two, I'm going to have some things scheduled, so I will get
Good.
that out by, through
Yeah.
Alignable and of course,
Yeah.
through email. So I will make
Yeah.
sure that those invitations get to you.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, I'm glad you guys are doing stuff in the world. Thank you so much for coming today. day, and I hope to see you again. Hope to see you at Virtual Events Bootcamp.
Yeah, super
I will be
nice.
there.
Thanks so much, Janelle.
Yeah, it's a great event. All right, we'll see you guys later.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.